Hi, Dave Spalding, and no, I'm not from Handgun Combatives. As most of you folks realize, the company has been shut down and is now gone. No big problem. It's something I wanted to do as I head towards retirement, but it doesn't mean that I've lost interest in the subject matter. I have not. I'm still very much interested in combative pistol craft and personal security and all of those things. It's just that I no longer want to teach it. I don't want to live in hotels. I don't want to hang out in airports. I got a pretty nice house and I want to spend some time there. So that part of my life is over. What I want to talk to you today, though, is about a drill that I have been thinking about that I've actually been using in my own practice sessions. I call it the Deliberation Drill, and it's been greatly inspired by the tests from Ken Hackathorn and Larry Vickers. Those of you who have shot the test know that you use a B8 bullseye repair center, you shoot it at 10 yards from a ready position, and you got 10 seconds. Now in Larry's version, he just wants to see you put all 10 rounds in that 5.5-inch black bullseye. In Ken's version, there's kind of a graded scoring system where he uses the X ring and the 10 ring, the 9 ring, and he wants a score of 90 or better. I kind of fall towards Larry's version because in a gunfight, either you hit well or you don't. So that's kind of the way I've developed this. So what is the Deliberation Drill? Again, it's 10 rounds, 10 yards in 10 seconds from either a concealed holster or from legitimate law enforcement duty gear on a 3x5 rectangle. Now, why do I use the 3x5 rectangle? Because in a linear fashion, it's about the same size as the heart and the aorta. And it's not even my original idea. I stole that from a SWAT school that I went to back in the 1980s that was taught by a couple of Army Special Forces veterans. They're the ones that used the 3x5 card. They're the ones that said it was about the same size as the heart and the aorta. I thought it was a great idea, and I've been using it ever since. So in our drill, it's straightforward. It's going to be from the holster, on the timer, up, 10 rounds, 10 seconds at 10 yards. Now, the reason for 10 yards is because even though we're having a number of incidents out there where we're getting, 30, 40, 50-yard pistol shots on active shooters, you're still much more likely to face a street crime threat. And as you know, because of many of our politicians and their policies, the street crime threat is increasing. So if you can hit inside at 10 yards or inside of that, that's much more likely going to be your threat. So 10 yards kind of being the outside edge of that kind of situation. That's why we went that direction. The reason I call it the Deliberation Drill is because it's a word that many of the old West gunfighters used when they talk about what you needed to have in order to prevail in a gunfight. Folks like Bat Masterson and Wyatt Earp, they lived well into the 20th century and their writings are well documented. And they used that word deliberate over and over again. And what they meant by deliberate was the person that would deliberately stand in the fight and exchange rounds with another human being without being flustered, without trying to go too fast. Because we've always realized that in combative pistol craft, it is a balance of speed and accuracy. You know when to go fast, you know when to be accurate, you know when to balance the two, and that is a deliberate act. In the age of go fast, I would like to see the word deliberate come back. Thus, I'm calling this the Deliberation Drill. Now, you've got to be deliberate because you know what? You've got to draw, you've got to get 10 rounds on target, which means that you have to deliver the first round, which many people miss, and then you got to focus and concentrate through all the next 9 rounds. How many times have you done a drill like this and you're feeling really good about it, and you forget what you're doing, and you miss 8th, 9th, or 10th round? Can't do that. You've got to focus from the minute your hand acquires the pistol, goes to the target, and then all 10 of those rounds all the way through. So it's deliberate. 10 rounds, 10 seconds from the holster. Now, like I said, concealment or legitimate duty gear, a day like this when it's 90 degrees, I can understand maybe you don't want to put a concealing garment on, so take a half second off of it, make it 950. But I happen to have a vest in my truck, so we're going to put it on here. I haven't been shooting yet today, so we're going to be doing this cold. Let's see what happens. You can see we got a green 3x5 rectangle down there. Got my timer. Let's see what happens. Okay, let's go take a look. You can see I've got one right here that's on the edge, but there's a good chunk of that out, so that's a hit. If I was standing out here and I was trying to fold paper down and looking at gas rings and all that, have some respect. That's a miss, okay? As you can see, we got 908, so we're, right in there where we need to be. Now, the 10-second par time, we didn't come up with that arbitrarily. I had 60 different people shoot that, including the likes of Ken Hackathorn, Lee Weems, John Hearn, Dwayne Thomas, Bucky Buchanan, my son-in-law Darren, who's behind the camera. And then we had some police in-service shooters do it. We had a police SWAT team do it. I had a number of folks that I knew just give it a try, but we had 60 people that made us arrive at that 10-second par time. If you're a really good shooter and you don't have any trouble with that, then make it a 9-second par time. But 10 is a pretty good average of a wide range of shooters. So it's about being deliberate, it's about concentrating, it's about having focus. Give it a try, the Deliberation Drill. I think you're going to like it.